Hello YouTube, and welcome to another edition of Rob's Arcade. As usual, I'm your host Rob, and I've got an awesome episode in store for all of my player twos, because the topic is...
What's up, Rob's Arcade?
Oh, come on, not you!
That's right, buddy. I'm back.
Wonderful. Player twos, that loudmouth over there is Officer Art Cade. Yeah, Officer Art Cade. Arcade, get it? Anyway, when I first started doing Rob's Arcade, I thought it'd be cool to have a puppet sidekick. And then I met Officer Cade. The guy is a huge jerk and super annoying. I decided not to use him in any future Rob's Arcade videos.
That story's all wrong. You're my sidekick. I've turned over a new leaf. Seriously. Nice shirt, by the way.
Seriously? Thanks.
Did they make it in your size?
What? Dude, the shirt isn't even that tight. What are you talking about? Player twos, listen. This is why I don't have this guy on the show. All he does is try to make fun of me and is constantly getting on my nerves.
No, seriously. I like the shirt. And it's cool how you save some cash by getting a kid size. What is that, a boy's large?
What? Seriously, can we just get on with this? Player twos, this is what we're going to be drawing this episode.
Hadouken!
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here.
That's right, Player twos. The topic of this episode is the Muppets. Now later on, we're going to head off to the Classic Game Showcase and we're going to spend some time playing an old school Muppets video game. But first, we're going to draw Kermit the Frog using only easy to draw simple shapes.
I drew something too. You want to see?
Oh, I can't wait.
I drew Rob.
Drew a poop emoji.
That's right. I drew Rob. Stink lines and everything.
I've about had it with you, Cade.
What are you gonna do, Art Boy? Draw an angry picture?
Nope.
Hey man, I was just kidding. You don't smell like poop and your shirt accents your eyes.
Hasta la vista. Hopefully that's the end of that. Dude, seriously? Beat it. Player twos, maybe now's a good time to check our supplies and start our class before anybody else bothers us. Okay, Player twos, it's time to draw Kermit the Frog. We're going to use the same process we always use. When I draw in red, I want you to press very lightly with your pencils. This is step one, which is the guideline step. Eventually, we're going to go in and erase all these lines. So the very first thing that we're going to do is we are going to draw a circle. Just a simple circle. When we're done with the circle, right down the middle of the circle, we're going to draw, very lightly, a straight line. Right down the middle. So this is going to cut this in half so we have two equal sides. After that, we're going to draw a circle here, and another circle here. Okay, we're going to try to make these circles the same size, same width apart. At the very bottom of our original circle that we first drew, we're going to draw kind of like the letter B. We're going to make this pointy. We're going to start at one side, bring it all the way up to here, so we should have a shape like this. Following our guideline right here, we're going to draw a couple triangles. So the first one we're going to draw, actually it'll be more like a letter V. So one letter V, two letter V's. We're just going to combine those and we're going to keep them even. And then the last one will be a curved letter V that connects to the bottom of the circle right here. So we also have something that looks very similar to this. The next step, we're going to draw a little line here and a little line here. Oh, I went a little bit too far. That's the good thing about us doing this in pencil or very lightly, because if we make a mistake, we can easily erase it. So we should have his body shape right here, and we're going to add a line here and another line coming down from there. So the same thing on the other side over here, a line straight down here, and another one coming down from here. Now you can see our image is already starting to take shape. Starting right here, we're going to draw a slightly curved line. Then we're going to draw another letter V, but it kind of curves at the bottom. Just like this. Connects right there. So we'll have our curved line and our curved letter V. Inside of there, we're going to draw a little letter U. That's it for step one. Pretty easy so far, right, player twos? Step two, I'm going to draw in blue. We're going to press a little bit harder with our pencils at this point. When I draw in blue, this is the detail step. This is step two. This is when we actually take our guidelines and our original drawing and just start adding to it, shaping it up, and heading toward our finished product in step three. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go over Kermit's mouth. So we're going to follow our guidelines and just kind of clean it up a little bit along the way. I'm going to follow our curved V shape that we did there, and then the tongue right here. At the top where the eyes are, we're going to change this a little bit. We did circles at first just so we have an idea of the placement and the eye shape and everything like that. Now since we're adding details, we're going to start at the top right here, but just a little bit farther down. Follow our guideline around here. When that stops right there, we're going to end this with a little curve. Because Kermit's eyes are pretty much ping pong balls that are cut in half. So we have our curve here and our little curve there. So this guideline right here, eventually when we erase everything, is going to be gone, leaving us with just this shape. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Follow our circle here with the curve, and then bring it down around to there. And again, when we erase our pencil lines, we should have something very similar to this. We'll keep the eyes the same size, keep them the same distance apart. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to start drawing the detail inside of the eyes. So we're going to have a circle here and a circle there. And inside those circles, we're going to draw a very thick line, similar to this, on both sides. Then we'll color in the circles that we did here and here, leaving us with an image that looks like that. Again, a circle with a straight line through the circle, and then we just thicken it up a little bit, and I just shaded it in just so my player twos have a better idea of what this would look like. Now I know I'm going kind of fast, but again, as I always say, the best thing about this being on YouTube is that if I'm going too fast, pause the video. If you made some mistakes or whatever, just take a look, rewind it, do whatever you need to do to catch up. This is your drawing. It's not going to be absolutely perfect. It's not going to look exactly like mine. But if you follow the directions, you'll have something that's very close. Plus, in a lot of cases, a lot of my player 2s are teaching themselves how to draw an entirely different way by drawing like this. If it doesn't look exactly like this, don't get discouraged. That's okay. This is a learning process. Practice, practice, practice. I can't say that enough. But let's continue. I'm going to go along the guidelines that we have here, and I'm going to turn this into one solid shape. So where we did our original circle and our little pointy area at the bottom, where we drew the little V, so when I erase the pencil lines, we'll have one solid shape right there. I'm going to erase this little line right here just to give you a better idea of what we have here. So there's Kermit's completed head shape. I'm going to go along what we have here with this area. And then I'm going to go over his arms and his body shape. Again, I'm only tracing over the lines that we need. So there's step 2. As of right now, we have a completed drawing, but we're going to actually add some finishing touches to this to make this a lot more crisper and a lot more, they call it print ready, where this is something that you can just make a photocopy of or take a picture and it'll show up in a magazine and it'll look absolutely perfect. So to make this image print ready, we're going to have to ink it over. So this is where we take our black felt tip pen or black magic marker and we go over only the lines that we have in blue. When we're done with this, we're going to let the ink dry and then we're going to erase all the pencil lines. We're only going to leave the black lines so we have a print ready image when we're finished. So I'm going to start right up here. I'm going to go over the eyes, inside the little eyeball area. Again, it's a circle with a line through it. Same thing over here. Circle with a line through it there. I'm going to add actually a couple little, a letter C and a backwards letter C over on his mouth area to just kind of add a little bit more detail to his smile. I'm going to go down around here, over his tongue, over the rest of his head shape. Then the last few details on the body. And we will be done with drawing Kermit the Frog. One last line. And there we go. So all my player 2 should have an image that looks like this. Take a look at everything and make sure that you've gone over all of the lines that we did in step 2. The lines that we did in step 1, again, once we erase everything, will disappear. So we got to make sure that we don't ink over the lines that are from step 1, the lines that are in red. These lines need to go. Give your picture a few minutes, let the ink dry, go in there and erase all of the pencil lines so you'll have nothing. So you should have an image. These lines will go away. These lines in the mouth over here will go away. This will go away. You should have an image that looks something like this. Pretty easy, right, player 2s? I know you all did a fantastic job, and I can't wait to see what you come up with next class. This episode of the Classic Game Showcase is going to be a real treat for Muppets fans because we're going to spend time with not one, but 2 Game Boy Advance games based on the Muppets. Muppets On With the Show and Spy Muppets Licensed to Croak. Both of these games are collections of mini-games aimed at a younger crowd, so old-school Muppet fans shouldn't expect a whole bunch of deep gameplay here. Let's start with Muppets On With the Show. This collection of 8 minigames revolves around a plot that resembles an episode of the original Muppet Show. Each of these minigames stars a different Muppet in a challenge that fits the character's style and personality. For example, Kermit has to navigate cardboard rapids while strumming his trusty banjo, all the while avoiding the other Muppets, especially Miss Piggy. Another game has players controlling the Swedish chef as he attempts to prevent a gang of rats from stealing his food by whacking them with a frying pan. Players can also control the Great Gonzo on a scooter, or play along with Electric Mayhem in a minigame which feels like a combination of Dance Dance Revolution and Simon Says. Older fans will get a kick out of the old school Muppet Show feel, but make no mistake, this game was made for kids, so the minigames won't offer much of a challenge for the experienced gamer. Spy Muppets License to Croak is very similar to Muppets On With the Show in regards to gameplay, but the plot feels more like a James Bond movie as opposed to a Muppet Show episode. Kermit the Frog, who in this game is known as Agent Frog, is sent on a series of missions to defeat Pepe the King Prawn, Miss Piggy as Piggy Galore, and the Great Gonzo as Dr. Nose. This game is broken up into 3 different missions, and each of these missions consists of 4 different minigames. Each level follows the same structure, and only the details are different. The first minigame has Agent Frog repairing a vehicle by matching each repair tool with the silhouettes provided. The second minigame has Agent Frog and a backup agent chasing down one of the villain's henchmen in his vehicle. The third level has Agent Frog finding the enemy's location and battling their henchmen before battling the boss villain in the 4th and final stage. Just like Muppets On With the Show, Spy Muppets License to Croak is a short game geared towards younger gamers. As long as players don't expect an epic adventure, this short trip through the wacky world of the Muppets is a fun little distraction for fans of the classic TV show. Unfortunately, this pair of games has not been ported over to any modern systems, but if you have an old Game Boy Advance or a Nintendo DS and are a fan of the Muppets, I highly recommend picking these titles up. Till next time. And that's a wrap on another edition of Rob's Arcade. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video to help this channel grow. Also be sure to follow Rob's Arcade at the social media links listed in the description below. Now, as far as the next episode goes, I know my player 2s are going to love this one because the topic is a character from movies, comic strips, cartoons, and so much more who loves lasagna but despises Mondays. I think all my player 2s know exactly who I'm talking about. Until then, keep drawing, and I'll see you all next time at Rob's Arcade.